conversation during that time is a good idea to ask them. We are going to have plenty of time, hopefully, at the end to answer all questions, or if you have any general guide dog questions as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Jake.
Thank you for having me. Thanks everybody for being here today. My name is Jake Cook. I'm the Community Outreach Specialist with Guide Dogs for the Blind, speaking to you today near our Oregon campus, just outside of Portland in the Great Northwest.
All right, thank you. And Tommy?
Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Murad. I am the Director of Training Operations here at Fidelco Guide Dog Foundation, and we are located in Bloomfield, Connecticut.
Wonderful. And David?
Hi, everybody. This is David Locklin. I'm the Director of Programs at Leader Dogs for the Blind, and we're located out of Rochester Hills in Michigan. It's good to be here today.
And Ben?
Yes, hello. My name is Ben Cauley. I'm the Director of Regional Training Programs with Guiding Eyes for the Blind, located in Yorktown Heights, New York.
And Chelsea?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Chelsea White. I'm an outreach specialist for the Seeing Eye in Morristown, New Jersey.
And Lauren?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lauren Berglund. I'm the Consumer Relations Coordinator for the Guide Dog Foundation and America's Vet Dogs, located in Smithtown, New York.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being on the panel today and sharing all that you know about guide dogs. So we'll go ahead and we'll get started with Lauren and Guide Dogs Foundation and America's Vet Dog. So I'm going to actually set a timer so we make sure this is legit fair for everybody. So you get 10 minutes. Feel free to share all about your programs and services. Again, if you have questions for Lauren, please type those in the chat and I'll be sure to ask her. I'm also going to put Lauren's contact information in the chat right now so you have access to that. All right, Lauren.
Thanks, Leslie. I can promise you I probably won't take the full 10 minutes. So thank you guys all for joining us today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Guide Dog Foundation and America's Vet Dogs. So we provide guide dogs and service dogs free of charge to qualified individuals and have for the last 75 years. Our guide and service dogs lead to renewed independence and enhanced mobility for our clients. A guide dog is a dog that stops for changes in elevation, navigates around obstacles, and provides enhanced mobility. Our location in Smithtown, New York allows for a great combination of both rural, suburban, and urban training. This means that we are able to provide clients with a rounded training experience in all types of different environments. Our training classes last for 2 weeks with small class sizes of about 6 to 8 students and a 2-to-1 instructor to student ratio, meaning that we have a very individualized training program that we can personalize to each student. Due to COVID-19, we're currently doing all of our training as a home training. So an instructor is actually taking a dog and training within the student's home environment. This is very personalized in that it is just the student and the instructor in their home environment. And we will continue to do this until we feel it's safe to bring all of our students back on campus. Home training is something that we always offer, even pre-COVID, and will continue to offer after COVID. We have had one successful residential guide dog class and hope to continue to bring students to campus. Through America's Vet Dogs, we place service dogs with veterans and first responders. And through our Vet Dogs program, we're able to place dual trained guide and service dogs with veterans and first responders. This means that a veteran or first responder who's blind but has additional disabilities such as PTSD or a traumatic brain injury, we're able to give them a guide dog who might have additional tasks such as retrieve or rest, or provides just some additional support when walking. After graduation, we provide a lifetime of aftercare support and services through our Consumer Services Office and field service representatives. We have support available 24/7 and are here to answer any questions our graduates or applicants might have. Through our offices, we want to ensure that we provide quality services to anyone who may need them and to our applicants and graduates. Applicants must be legally blind and demonstrate a need for a guide dog to help them remain safe and effective in their everyday travel. We look for clients who independently travel practical and purposeful routes with a cane or their current mobility device. An ideal guide dog client is someone who has established orientation and mobility training and is able to navigate those practical and purposeful routes on their own. The breeds we use are Labrador Retrievers, Golden Retrievers, Labrador Golden Crosses, and standard poodles for those with dog allergies. Our current wait time to our program is about 9 to 12 months, but with COVID, it can depend on where you live, as we're currently doing our home trainings within individuals who live 2 days or within our field service staff who live around the country. If someone wishes to apply, they can contact myself at the contact information provided in the chat, or call 631-930-9000 or go to guidedog.org. And I can take any questions that you have.
Awesome. Thanks, Lauren. There's a couple different questions. One, just out of curiosity, somebody says, why are all the guide dog schools in the Northeast?
Let's answer that one. I don't know if there's a reason.
This is just a representation of some of the guide dog organizations throughout the US. There are other organizations that are located throughout the US. So this is, oddly enough, we are just kind of, most of us located in that area. And then somebody asked, for schools exclusively using home training, how, if at all, has matching students with dogs been affected since there are no Juno walks on site?
So we have had to rely more on our student video component that students present. We have always done a student video component and match students based off of that. We have had to, in the past, present to students and match students without that initial video component before, without the initial Juno component before. It has certainly been a bit of a different experience than not getting that Juno walk when first coming to campus. But I can say that there are more than likely people who can better speak to that on this call later on, as I'm not an instructor.
Thank you. Let's see. At what age do you provide guide dogs to people?
Yeah, so our age limit is 16 years of age, but we do take younger individuals if they can demonstrate that they are responsible, independent enough to properly work with a guide dog. There is no upper age limit, and we'll place guide dogs with individuals of any age above that lower age limit.
Great. And then somebody's asking, what is a Juno walk?
A Juno walk is basically when you get to use a very short handle and the human practices being a guide dog, and it allows an individual to get to practice the fundamental guide dog skills without using an actual dog, but instead uses a human.
Thank you. And it looks like here somebody's kind of asking about the vision requirement.
Yeah, so an individual does need to be legally blind, so a visual acuity of 2200 or less, or a visual field of 20 degrees or less. That is par for the course for most schools. We do take individuals who are right at that 2200 mark, so that do have a higher degree of functional vision. That is something we work with frequently. We just need the individual just needs to be able to not work with, or be willing to trust and work with the dog and not rely on that remaining vision.
Thank you. And just so everybody knows, I am kind of writing down some of these questions so that everybody gets a chance to answer them, as some organizations may have different answers. But another question is, I'm sorry, where did it go? The visual field. Oh, are you serving any clients in Canada?
Yes, we are. So we have just placed our first dog in Canada and hope to continue doing so. So we are welcoming applications from Canadian guide dog clients and hope to continue placing dogs in Canada.
And what is the cost for services or?
There is no cost associated. for any part of the process, training, transportation, the dog, etc.
People are excited about that. All right, that looks like all of the questions. Does anybody have anything else to ask Lauren or to learn about Guide Dog Foundation and or America's Vet Dog? The question here is, how do you work with veterans in a wheelchair?
So we do not place guide dogs with individuals who use wheelchairs. So an individual, an individual who uses a wheelchair would need to have vision and not be legally blind. So that would be someone who would not be receiving a guide dog, but would be receiving a service dog to do service dog tasks, such as retrieve, open doors, or more PTSD type tasks.
Okay, and do you have to care for guide dogs differently than other dogs?
There are some things you do differently when it comes to house manners, but they do, for the most part, there are responsibilities that you would have with a pet dog, but there are certain behaviors you are not to allow in the home and house manners you want to and structure you want to maintain.
Thank you. And do you want to speak again to the waiting list and or the time that it takes to get a service dog right now?
Yeah, so our current wait time is about 9 to 12 months after completion of the application. The dogs are about 2 years of age, if that's kind of what you mean, if as far as training time, and then training class is 2 weeks.
Okay, and we've got 2 more questions here, and then it looks like our time will be up. But somebody mentioned, I get concerned about one of my clients who appears to be making decisions for the dog instead of relying on the dog. Can this undermine the training? My client's vision is poor, but is still partially sighted. He is still partially sighted.
It certainly could undermine the training, and I would encourage the client to perhaps contact their school and see about having an aftercare visit, and so work with a trainer to get the best possible outcome, as it could cause problems down the road.
All right. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
the update. And again, we'll have time at the end too. If you think of anything specific for Lauren, just let us know. So we're going to move on over to the Seeing Eye and have Chelsea give us a little bit of an update.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We, like I said earlier, we're located in Morristown, New Jersey. We have been training dogs now for 92 years. We've been around since 1929. And we pretty much do the whole process, kind of like Guide Dog Foundation does. We breed, raise, and train all of our own dogs. And we use German Shepherds, Labrador Retrievers, Golden Retrievers, and then we cross the lab with the Golden. So our training is a dog, just like Guide Dog Foundation, is about 2 when you get them. Training for a first-time dog handler is 26 days, so it's almost 4 weeks, not quite. And then for somebody who's had a dog from us before, it is a week shorter. Currently, in normal times, our wait is about 3 to 4 months from acceptance of application to actually coming in and going through training. Currently, we're more in the probably 6 to 9 month time frame unfortunately, because of COVID. Our classes now, normally we are 1 to 4 ratio, so 1 instructor for every 4 students. We now currently, because of COVID, are 1 to 2, so 1 instructor for every 2 students. We are doing classes on campus. For those folks who are vaccinated, there is no quarantine restriction. If you are not vaccinated, New Jersey is still requiring a 14-day quarantine. So if you were to apply and come into class, currently, and if you're not vaccinated, you would come 2 weeks before your class would start and quarantine at a local hotel. And that is cost is something that we take care of for that. So the hotel and food and such. We're hoping that, as more and more people get vaccinated, that will, need to be necessary. And as numbers continue to go down, hopefully New Jersey will get rid of even the quarantine thing in general. So, and yeah, that's pretty much as far as, training of the dog, pretty standard as far as what the dog does, around obstacles, stop at curbs and steps, pretty standard as far as that, training goes. So I'm more than happy to answer questions.
Okay. I'm going to start with some of the ones that were kind of generic questions that Lauren had,
Sure.
and then we'll kind of continue to go through. So,
Yep.
Are you currently providing any services to anyone in Canada?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Same sort of quarantine things apply. So if somebody's vaccinated, no quarantine. I know Canada has some of their own requirements for when you would go back home. I don't remember exactly what those are right now, but I know Canada has some of their own requirements for coming back into the country. But we are serving Canadians. We actually currently have two people from Canada in class right now. So
Great. And then what is the cost?
So for a first-time dog, it is $150 for the dog. For a second, third, fourth, subsequent dog after that, it is $50. If you are a veteran, it's $1. And all of the other expenses that you would have to come to training, all of your dog's initial equipment, their harness, leash, their collar, all that kind of stuff. Any assistance you might need after you go home, all of that is taken care of by us. All that we ask for is the $150 for the dog for first dog, or $50 for every dog after that. So
Great. And on average, how many dogs are issued per year?
in a non-COVID year.
That's how everything has to start right now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like, okay, there's two sets of statistics here. In a non-COVID year, we place around 250 dogs a year. I think right now, our fiscal year starts October 1st. And as of right now, we have placed 84 dogs. And once the current class that just started on Monday graduates, it'll be 94 because there's 10 people in class right now. So.
Okay, thank you. And somebody was asking, what happens when a dog retires? Does the dog typically stay with the handler, or?
So that's actually a really good question. It to some extent is up to the handler. As far as the seeing eye goes, we actually ownership is given to the individual of the dog once they complete training. So I'm a graduate myself. I've been a guide dog handler now for over 30 years. And the dog I currently have, so she is my dog. The seeing eye maintains no ownership to her whatsoever. So it's up to me what happens with her when she retires. Quite often folks will keep retired dogs, but that's not always possible. Taking care of an older dog can be very costly. Sometimes, people's situations just don't allow for two dogs. So quite often there are friends and family members who, love the dog as much as the handler does. So, they can go to a friend or family member as a really nice pet, or we will take the dog back. If somebody can't keep the dog or find the dog a really nice home, we will take the dog back and find them a really good home. So our waiting list right now for either retired guides or what we call career change dogs that for whatever reason don't make it through training, is about 2 years. So definitely, have folks who are more than happy to adopt a dog. So
Yeah, dogs always find a loving home, which is great.
yeah, absolutely.
Somebody was asking, are there any programs for younger kids, like 0 to 7?
As far as for a guide dog, no. So one sort of requirement to be successful with a guide dog is good orientation and mobility skills. So the ability to sort of navigate your environment independently. Guide dogs they're guide dogs. They're not GPSs. So, I can't tell my dog, take me to Starbucks and just end up at Starbucks. I have to know how to get there and then direct my dog with left, right, and forward to get to the places that I need to go. And guide dogs are also pretty big dogs. They're labs, shepherds, goldens. So, your average 5-year-old is just physically probably not capable of handling a guide dog. They're well trained, they're well behaved, all of that, but they're still dogs. And so that's also part of it. And then another reason is, my dog works for me because I'm the one who takes care of her. I'm the one that feeds her. I'm the one that takes her out. I'm the one that gives her the bulk of her attention. She works for me because we have a very strong relationship and a very strong bond. And so that's also part of it as well. So there is a guide dog school in Canada called the Mira Foundation. And they take folks, I believe, as young as 12. It's either 12 or 13, but that's as young as they go. So.
All right, and then last question here. So time is about up, but somebody said that they are working with a woman who trained at your facility, and the dog was constantly veering at an intersection, and a new harness was sent, which helped considerably. She said she was not aware of this as an option, and can you elaborate?
I really wish I could, but I don't know the situation. So unfortunately, I can't.
Well, it sounds like it's working out, which is great news. Very
yeah,
cool.
that's fantastic. There can be all kinds of reasons for things that dogs and humans do, and there can be all kinds of ways to fix it. So the fact that a harness was what really helped with the problem is awesome. So if you have, I would call Seeing Eye and ask to talk to somebody in training and get an explanation, because they would be more than happy to do that. So
well, thank you, Chelsea.
Sure.
All right, we are going to move right along to Guiding Eyes with Ben Cauley.
Hello, everybody, and thank you to the organizers for putting this together. Thank you, Leslie and Leah. Guiding Eyes for the Blind is, I'll start with our annual numbers. So we have, in non-COVID years, we have approximately 150 teens that graduate. We support approximately 1,000 graduates in the field. And the main dogs the only dogs that we use are Labrador Retrievers and German Shepherds. We have application requirements are very similar to the rest of the schools on the call. So legally blind, we do require that applicants are 16 years of age when they receive a dog, but they can apply when they're younger if they're similar to what Lauren and Chelsea were saying, if they're mature. We do have a youth program where we cooperate with other organizations. So we're currently placing dogs with families. They're not guide dogs. They are companion dogs for families who have children who are visually impaired, to introduce them to what it's like to care for a guide dog breed that's purpose bred for the work. And we currently have a program. The majority of our youth program dogs are placed through Chicago Lighthouse, but we also are placing dogs through an organization in Pennsylvania. We hope to expand that program as well. In addition to so we serve all of the US and Canada. We haven't served any Canadians recently, but we are able to do it and willing to do it. As far as changes that have happened, well, pre-COVID, we had a 3-week class program. There is and was no cost to our services. And we provide a veterinary stipend to our graduates to help with veterinary care, like many schools do. We have a number of programs to customize the guide dog experience, depending on kind of, I like to think of it as we really work with our applicants to allow them to pick like what the best program is for them and kind of define what independence through guide dog travel means to them. So we have, I see there's a question about support canes, whether or not dogs can work with someone with a support cane. And we do have a specialized training program that trains dogs. It gives our really experienced instructors the opportunity to give dogs some extra time to customize them for individuals who have additional disabilities. And through that program, we serve the deafblind community. We have several of our instructors are fluent in American Sign Language. And we have dogs that are taught to work with people with balance issues, CP, that type of thing, in addition to blindness. We also have a running guides program for blind athletes, where we will place their guide dogs first, and then we will evaluate the dogs and the graduate to place dogs with people who are interested in using their guide dogs on exercise runs that are low complexity areas, such as city parks or neighborhoods that have very little traffic. And through that program, we worked with Roughwear to develop a new harness called the Unifly harness, which is a modern version of the guide dog harness that's really customizable. And we've actually started issuing that harness giving it as an option to our graduates. Some people prefer to stick with the leather harness, and some graduates prefer to work with this newer harness that allows just for more customization. So that's something that we've been doing recently. In regards to COVID, we have pared our class down, similar to what the Seeing Eye was describing. And what Chelsea was describing. We have a 2-to-1 instructor ratio right now. Whether or not we stick with that, it's still up in the air. Our trainers are still experiencing, it's new to everybody, and we like a lot of the aspects of it. So time will tell whether or not we stick with that or go back to a more traditional 3-week program. We have, initially we were doing only home trainings. Once COVID hit, we did open up our class program. So we're running 2 classes a month for 2 weeks in length with 4 people each class. So the last 2 months, we've had 8 people come in each month to the general class program, and the same number of home trainings going out. So I'm happy to say that we are at that's pretty much our productivity level in a normal year. We've just shifted over to more home trainings than in-person trainings. And I think that's about it for Guiding Eyes, unless anybody has any questions.
Yeah, we have a couple of different questions here. Somebody said, I have a client who has a retired guide dog and his newer dog. He takes both dogs out when traveling. I'm thinking this cannot be a good idea. Can you please tell me what your school would recommend?
Really, questions like that, we really, it's difficult to answer without being there in person. We have, like many of the other schools, we have field representatives that are out in they live out in the community, and they know our graduates well. So there might be a graduate, I don't want to say a blanket statement like, no, that's never a good idea. There might be a graduate who can do that effectively, and there might be some where it would cause problems. So it really depends upon the graduate and the dogs.
All right. And somebody was saying, do you have professional seminars in the summer?
We do in non-COVID years. I don't know, we don't have plans to run in-person seminars this summer, but our regional, if you are interested in a seminar, we can come to you, or we can do a virtual seminar with you in the time being. Yes.
And then somebody was asking, or would like you to repeat if you already did, about the wait time to receive a dog.
Sure. Typically our wait times range from 6 months to 2 years, depending upon the program and the type of dog you're looking for. Most people experience approximately 9 months, and it's dramatically different with COVID. I mean, it really depends upon how close you live to a field representative, because that's how we're operating our home training program right now. But the good news is that most of our staff are fully vaccinated, and we're starting to fly now. So I think that component, or that restraint to being able to serve people all across our region is gonna not be an issue this summer. And I think a lot of the other schools online would agree that that's shifting rapidly.
And we've had a couple questions just about different breeds, and people are wondering exactly why most of us use kind of the same breeds. And then, you know, is there a big difference between German Shepherds and Labs? And can people request a certain breed?
Yes, you can request a certain breed. That's with the caveat that it's up to our admissions committee to whether or not we're going to grant that request. We'll always say, yes, you're accepted. Like, say someone comes to us and said, I want a German Shepherd only. And through the home interview process, we discover that we're not recommending a German Shepherd for that individual for one reason or another. We will communicate that to them upon acceptance, that you know, you're accepted. However, we're not going to be able to provide a German Shepherd to you. Typically with our school, we German Shepherds mainly go to our retrains, but we do have several first timers every year that get German Shepherds and have waited for them. They want them and they wait for them.
And is your training longer for those with dual loss? Yes, it's customized to what they need. So it can be, but for some, no, it's not. It's the training for the dogs that takes longer. And then is there any expense with any of the dogs? And then I think somebody is asking about support for yearly vaccinations and or healthcare for the dogs.
Yes, we offer a stipend. I believe it's $300 a year for vet care to be used at your local vet clinic. And then what was the other question? There's no cost. Guiding Guides doesn't ask for a cost for our dogs. The graduates are responsible for toys and food for the dogs.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Ben. All right, we're going to move along to Leader Dogs for the Blind with David Locklin.
Good afternoon, everybody. So as I said, it's good to be here. So I'm just going to give some updates from Leader Dog here. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about our guide dog program, our orientation and mobility program, and then I'll just touch on our summer camp, which will be virtual this year. So traditionally, We've served clients across all of the United States, Canada, and Latin America. As with the other guide dog schools, our programs are free of charge, which includes all of travel, the dog, the board and lodgings if you're coming to the facility, or if we're, of course, bringing the dog to you on an in-home. So for the coming into the program, we require individuals to be legally blind, at least 16 years of age, able to care for and look after a dog, and have efficient orientation and mobility, not looking for perfection, but certainly a level of orientation and mobility to be safe and independent. We resumed our on-campus and in-home training in July. And we've gone through various stages of pausing on campus and restarting and pausing, as there's been various spikes with the COVID numbers. We have a full on-campus training, which is 3 weeks in length. We have what we call a flex program, which is, again, it's designed to be flexible, but typically 2 weeks on campus and a week follow-up in home. We have our in-home training program, as well as our Deafblind program as well. So for individuals who use American Sign Language. Much like the other schools, we reduced our ratio. So traditionally we were a 4-to-1 ratio in the guide dog program, and we reduced that down to a 2-to-1 on campus. And we've been able to spread out across the campus when we haven't been paused here. Wait times, around about the 9 to 12 months on average. But again, it does depend on kind of what states we have open and who we can serve. Right now, we are only serving within the US, and not internationally. We did work with an organization in Canada to serve one of our clients with a guide dog in Canada. And so we provided the dog and they provided the training. Right now, we aren't serving anybody coming over the border into the US, but we'll continue to monitor that, and hopefully we can soon. Breed-wise, for the most part, Labradors, Golden Retrievers. We've started to increase our numbers of Labrador cross Golden Retrievers, some German Shepherds, and we currently have a litter or two coming in, or certainly there's a litter in of German Shepherd cross Labradors. So we're kind of working with the best of both worlds, if you will. To date, we've served, we're just wrapping up some in-home deliveries, so we'll have served around 80 guide dog clients. And for our orientation and mobility program that I'll get into a little bit more, we've been able to work with 55 individuals within that program as well. And both on campus and in home with orientation a little bit, which has been a little bit new for us, so that's been good. As we move forward, we're actually looking, once we can, hopefully post-pandemic, whenever that might be, we're looking to move to a 3-to-1 ratio in guide dog classes rather than the 4-to-1 that we've had traditionally, which I think will be a nicer ratio for us in our program, just to give individuals more time on the street with their instructor and their dog. So that's really kind of an overview of guide dog program. Orientation mobility, again, traditionally guide dog, the US and Canada. Again, right now, just the US, but the training is designed, we will cover things such as human guide, using a white cane, using orientation skills such as cardinal directions, solving problems along a route, such as barriers or crowds, which we don't tend to see so much these days, but we'll certainly cover that if we're able to. Of course, crossing streets, reorienting yourself, and shopping, soliciting assistance, those types of things with our orientation and mobility. And for our summer camp, actually, Leslie probably would be able to give the best information, as she used to kind of run that, but I'll give you an overview. So traditionally, again, on campus in the summer for 16 and 17-year-olds, individuals who are legally blind, and again, all free, that combines fun activities, exploring mobility options, such as guide dog travel. When we're on campus, we're able to do a day with dogs in hand. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do that virtually, but also just that opportunity to build friendships and peer-to-peer as well. So there's a lot of fun traditionally. So this last summer, we did that virtually, tried to put a program together to offer as much information and education as we could, as well as building friendships. And we were able to actually move that to 14 and 17-year-olds because it being virtually, we had more flexibility with that program. So, so that will actually happen again this June, virtually, not on campus. And hopefully next fiscal year or next summer, we'll get back on campus, fingers crossed. So we shall see. So that's really my update. If you have any questions.
Thank you. Yes, so the virtual summer experience camp is going to be this summer from June 21st through June 25th. And the applications are online right now. So if you know anybody that is interested in that, check those out. A couple different questions came in. Do you need to quarantine before traveling to Leader Dog in Michigan?
No, we're not doing the quarantine. We ask that there are no symptoms. So we have a health survey that we fill out with the individual, actually on a daily basis when on campus, but certainly prior. There's no requirement to be vaccinated at this point. So no, we aren't, but we're asking people, of course, to, if there are any symptoms or if you come into contact with anybody who's a positive, that you let us know so that we can reschedule your training.
Yeah. And somebody was asking before you had mentioned the O&M program, if we're still providing that, which is yes, but what are some of the basic requirements for the O&M program?
Pretty similar to the guide dog in a sense. So again, being legally blind, but we actually are looking at individuals on a case by case. If their mobility is impacted, we will look at case by case basis. Again, at least 16-year-olds, and again, a level of self-care if they're coming to campus, not looking for perfection, maybe the first time that they're experiencing using a long cane. So we can start from that level to very early in their mobility journey, right through to somebody who's perhaps had many guide dogs and wants to gen up on their orientation and mobility skills.
This is a great question, which probably everybody might have a different answer, so we can maybe come back to it at the end too. But do you get to name your guide dog, or does it come with a name when you get it?
Oh, that's a great question. So a little bit of both. So our dogs are named by the puppy raisers. So the puppy raiser gets the naming rights. However, should the client wish to choose an alternative name, it's nice if it's something that sounds very similar to the dog's original name, because of course, if you start calling the dog something completely different and expect the dog to respond, probably not going to happen. But over time, it's a little bit like having nicknames. Eventually, they start to pick up on it. But yes, we can change the name if the client prefers.
All right. And then another great question: when working with a guide dog or a client and a guide dog, how far back should an O&M instructor stand or be when working with somebody?
Oh, that's a great question. And of course, safety first. It's always going to come down to that. How far back? Gosh, it really, God, that's tricky. That's one of those where you kind of got to be there. It really depends on the individual and the dog and how possibly distracted the dog is by the individual following. So we typically advise to kind of follow behind the right shoulder, perhaps sort of 10 feet back. But again, it so depends on so many aspects: hearing, ability, depending on what's going on in terms of that route. So yes, we want to be out of the way a little bit to allow the mobility aspect between the person and the dog to happen, but so close enough that you're able to give instruction and have a conversation. But again, that's kind of, it's so specific to each individual case.
Really good questions coming in. We'll probably have to go back to a lot of these, but what services do Leader Dogs offer clients after graduation?
So for guide dog, we do have field representatives around the US. So if there's a need to follow up, and sometimes we may agree that up front after graduation, we're going to come and see you, perhaps it's 6 weeks from now, just depends on the individual. Or of course, if you're having any issues, we'll try and troubleshoot that on the phone first. But if we need to come and see anybody, then we will endeavor to do that. Again, pandemic is the caveat where we're able to travel, but we always aim to get there if we can.
Right. Thank you, David, and telling us all about the leader dog. We're going to move right along to Fidelco with Tommy.
Thank you for having me, and hi everybody. Right now, by the time I'm going to say my update, it's going to be like the same like most of our guide dog school. The only things different here at Fidelco is just we only have one breed, and we're working with only one breed. It's a German Shepherd. We only breed and raise and train German Shepherd. We don't have any other breeds. The other thing is unique for Fidelco here. We only do in-community placement. We don't have any dormitory here. Clients don't come to us. Our placement specialists travel to them, to their home community, and work with them in their home community and their family and their other pets in the home and everything. For first-time graduates, it's 15 days. For a successor, it's 10 days. After the placement is done, we come back in 6 months, do like a checkup and see how's everything going. If there's any problem or anything like that, we need to tackle it early and solve it. And then after that, we do like a yearly follow-ups. Our training program here, we breed our own dogs. They go to the puppy raiser when they're 8 weeks till they are 16 months. They come in for training when they are 16 months, and they spend 6 months here at Fidelco in the kennel to be trained for the guide dog work. So this is for the training. For accepting and waiting lists, yes, it's between 9 months to a year right now. And it's going to be like expecting next year or so to be longer, because we have to cut back on our breeding program since COVID hit, and we have to cut back because we don't know exactly what's going on. But we are like, we never stopped, we just cut back, but probably the waiting list is going to be longer the next year or two. What else we do here? We only do like guide dog training. We don't have any other program. We just specialize in guide dogs. Last year, we celebrated our 60 years in business. So we've been doing this for 60 years. And everything else is exactly the same like the rest of the guide dog school. So if I repeat it, it would be like the same thing you guys heard it, like, yeah, our application process is the same. We do interviews. We have the requirement, you have legally blind, you have to have O&M first training, and then we'll do the application and replace the dog. We are working with other dog school like Leader and Guiding Eyes, and we're like sharing some breeds and some semen and some stuff with each school, because like we are all wants the best for the client. So it's just like we're all trying to have the best guide dogs out there. Anything else? It's the same. So if any questions, I'm happy to answer questions.
Yes, there are a few questions. And I think you make a really good point. You know, we are all different guide dog organizations, but we certainly do all work together and want what's best for the client. So we always encourage everybody to do their research when thinking about a guide dog, and just knowing that we are all on the same team. Okay, a couple of different questions. How old do you have to be to get a guide dog?
16 years at least, and no upper age minimum, but 16 years. We're dealing with German Shepherd here, so we need to have like some maturity and responsibility and be able to take care of the dogs. Yeah, German Shepherd are like, if they are different than Labradors and other breed, like, yeah, they are like to move fast, you have to keep them busy, you have to be in charge. So lots of things. So 16 is the minimum age.
Awesome. And then this is a great question that has come up. Is there ever an issue where a dog and a client do not match or get along?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's very important for us because like when we travel, we travel with one dog and one client, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's very important to get the match right from the beginning, and instead of like wasting all this time and the client time and training and course and everything. So for us here, yes, absolutely, it's very the interview, in-person interview is very important because we see your lifestyle, we try to match your pace, your lifestyle, and your home environment and everything. But absolutely from every, like it's not common to happen, but it's happened, and then we will bring the dog back and we'll try to match it with somebody else, or yeah, find a replacement for the client with these dogs. But it's happened, but it's rarely happened.
Thank you. Somebody else asked, how do you know when it's time for a guide dog to retire?
The dog will tell you exactly, yeah, when they need to give up and retire. But these dogs, yeah, especially this guide dogs, because they work with the client 24/7, they never give up. Even if they are on their last leg, they will keep working till they are on their last leg before they retire. But there's other factors, like say, like if the client likes to walk fast as the dog is getting older and slowing down, so that now the client is frustrated. So this is now will be like the right time to retire the dogs. Dogs that really work mainly in major cities, the city put like wear and tear faster than the dogs work in urban, suburban or different areas in the country. Being there every day, so just like they will retire if they're getting slowing or having a hard time like getting up, or if they have some health reason or develop any illness or something at old age, then it will be time for the dog to retire. But like most guide dog school, it's up to the client, but we counseling them, and because we see all our clients once a year, so we could advise them or tell them like, you may maybe start thinking about reapplying again or start thinking about retiring. We could just like, yeah, it's not easy really to retire the dog because it's a bond between the client and the dog. It's very strong and it's always a very hard decision.
And typically, what is the age of dogs when they
say like
retire?
like yeah, 10 years age would be like fair enough, because the dogs when we place them, they're around like 2.5 years old, so they have like very good successful guide work career. So 10 years of age could be retired. But saying that, we have dogs that have been working till they are 12 years old. Anything over 10 years, it's a given. So.
All right. And could someone apply if they were younger than 16 to get on the wait list?
Yes, you could apply. Yeah, you could get applied before 16, but yes, to be on just the waiting list, because the waiting list will be longer now. So yes, absolutely.
Okay. And then if a dog fails to disobey when a car turns in front of them, will they need more training? This is potentially a very concerning situation.
Yeah, I will talk only about Fidelco, not other guide dog school, but this is called like intelligent disobedience. When the dog refused to go on the car there, and every guide dog school do their traffic. We do traffic training, and every guy do it differently. But yeah, the dogs usually, and as Chelsea said before from Seeing Eye, it's 50-50 responsibility. The client has to use their hearing and know like there's a car coming or so, and then give the obedience and as a command, and the dog will refuse to go. But if they have any problem, we always encourage them to call us or call their guide dog school where they get the dog from and ask for retraining, or somebody will come and evaluate the situation.
Okay. And somebody was just asking for a reminder which school you're representing.
Fidelco Guide Dog Foundation. We are located in Northeast in Bloomfield, Connecticut.
Okay. Thank you. And then last question here. Can you take guide dogs to the park, like to a dog park?
We at Fidelco here, we don't recommend that because you don't know what's the other dog in the park, whether they are all vaccinated or not, or there's anything, or how they are well behaved or under control or not. So we don't recommend it like dog park for our guide dogs, German Shepherds.
Okay, thank you for sharing. We're going to move right along to our last, which is Guide Dogs for the Blind. So I'm going to hand it over to Jake.
Great, thanks Leslie, and thanks to the rest of the APH team for putting together this lovely panel discussion. To my colleagues on the group, good to hear your voices, lots of good stuff and great perspectives being shared today. So just give you an overview about Guide Dogs for the Blind and of course answer questions as we go along. So Guide Dogs for the Blind serves clients in all 50 states and Canada. We provide all of our services free of charge. We have 2 campuses, our headquarters located in San Rafael, California, just north of San Francisco, and an additional campus located in the town ironically called Boring, Oregon. No joke, that's what it's called. I can never say it with a straight face. That's the campus I work from. Both campuses operate the same, so we are one organization with 2 campuses. So whether someone goes to our Oregon campus or our California campus, the experience is going to be the same. We also provide youth services as well as an orientation and mobility immersion program and a suite of follow-up services. In terms of applying, I like to call it the admissions 1, 2, 3. So it's 1 application, 2 interviews, 3 professional reference forms, and those reference forms include a physical exam, mobility report, and low vision report. In terms of our requirements to our school, there are just 3 of them: legal blindness, previous orientation and mobility training, and a minimum of 3 purposeful, what we call destination routes or purposeful travel. And that's really just to make sure that a client has enough work to sustain a guide dog and keep them happy and engaged. We operate in normal times, 6 clients per class on both campuses. Every 2 weeks, we have a 2-to-1 client to instructor ratio. Right now during COVID, we are operating between 3 and 4 person classes on a one-on-one ratio. We're also doing an increased number of in-home trainings, so bringing the dog to a person in the home and providing that training to help offset the wait time. And speaking of that, unfortunately, I don't have an exact figure for you. There's a lot of factors that go into wait time and how someone might be trained, resources available, et cetera, et cetera. But it can be up to a year. But as things continue to move along here, hopefully as the vaccine effort continues to pick up momentum and things start to return to normal, consumer confidence returns, we will be able to decrease the wait time at our school. One thing that wasn't talked about too much is the training philosophy. So at Guide Dogs for the Blind, we use positive reinforcement training. We use something called R+, which is a dog training curriculum. So we use a variety of positive reinforcement techniques along with negative reinforcement corrections to help communicate our needs and expectations to the dogs. We use food as well as something called clicker training. That's a behavior marking tool. And it's one tool in the tool belt of each of our clients to help them work with their dogs. Clicker training, for example, can be really effective in teaching a dog to find APS walk button pull or bus stop, bench, et cetera, et cetera. So that is something that is a big part of our program. All of our dogs are trained with food and the clicker. We provide a suite of follow-up services, including telephonic support through our dedicated support center. This is staffed by guide dog mobility instructors, guide dog handlers, and veterinary financial assistance professionals. We offer a veterinary financial assistance program to those folks that need assistance with veterinary care. And then we also provide in-person follow-up yearly follow-up, and then also emergent visits when people need to be seen sooner rather than later. So that's a little bit about our programs, as well as in terms of COVID. We serve both clients in the United States and Canada. We do not have posted minimum or maximum age requirements. However, anybody, everybody that's applying for a guide dog, we're going to look at the same in terms of motivation, maturity, orientation and mobility, purposeful travel, etc. Those clients who are under the age of 18, we're also going to look a little bit, look into their support systems that they have both in the home and in schools. So for those TVIs and other school professionals on the call, it's possible we would reach out to you and talk to you a little bit about that. How do you feel about having somebody, your client having a guide dog in this school setting? Speaking to a principal, how do you feel about this sort of thing? Just to make sure that the overall experience is going to go well for everybody involved. It is a big responsibility. Like Guiding Eyes, we have something called a Canine Buddy program where we provide dogs to youth who are blind and visually impaired and their families as a confidence builder. We also have our orientation and mobility immersion program. So similar to leader dogs, we do provide O&M training to those folks that need it. Our program philosophy is we bridge the skills gap between what someone has in terms of mobility training and what they need to be successful with a guide dog. Now, just because somebody goes through the O&M immersion program doesn't mean that they're required to get a guide dog. Of course, we would like them to, and that's the overarching goal. But what we're really trying to do is just help offset the shortage of O&M services in the country. That program is open to adults only at this time, and we do serve folks in the United States and Canada. You only have to apply once, so you don't have to go back and reapply for, say, the guide dog program if you've gone through the O&M immersion program. A big part of my job is helping people make an informed choice about guide dog mobility, so both community outreach work as well as admissions work. So I believe my contact info will be listed in the chat along with everybody else's. You're welcome to get a hold of me directly if you have specific questions. I'm always happy to chat, and I will take questions if there are any.
Thank you, Jake. Yes, we do have a couple of different questions. A couple of questions regarding Canada, if you're presently taking applications from Canada, and then also how is training and follow-up for Canadians during COVID?
Yeah, so it's a little bit tricky because we're dealing with an international border. We are just getting ready to start serving our Canadian clients. Certainly, if you need follow-up, we can always provide telephonic follow-up through the support center. If you need in-person follow-up, we can send somebody to you. Again, it's on an individualized basis, like a lot of the schools here. As you're probably learning, the guide dog lifestyle is highly individualized. So it is something that we can provide, but it would certainly be handled on a case-by-case basis right now because it is pretty difficult with all the restrictions in place.
Yeah, I think that's the reoccurring theme here is none of us know what's happening right now. We're all trying to get by. But a specific question for you is what types of breeds do you use?
Oh, yeah, great question. So Guide Dogs for the Blind breeds our own stock of Labrador Retrievers, Golden Retrievers, and a Labrador Golden Retriever crossbreed. In a normal year, we place about 300 dogs with people who are blind or visually impaired, and we serve about 2,200 active guide dog graduates in all 50 states and Canada.
This is a great question. There's kind of lots of pieces to this question, and we'll probably repeat it again to everybody. But does your school provide training to Spanish speakers and or clients in wheelchairs?
Great question. So we do have instructors on staff who are Spanish speaking, and we can provide those services if needed. Again, that would be a case-by-case situation, and we would figure out the best way to provide training in alternate language. That is unfortunately the only language that we provide services in. Unfortunately, we also do not provide wheelchair training for new clients. We will continue to serve those clients who have applied to us and have received guide dogs from us in the past. we will serve those clients, but we're not taking on any new wheelchair guide dog clients at this time.
Great. And then do you serve individuals who are deafblind?
We work with folks if they are able to localize traffic and interpret verbal instructions. If that's not possible, a big part of my job is referring clients to programs that best fit their needs. In fact, I can tell you, speaking to the point about collaboration, all the schools on this call, I have referred clients to your programs based on individual needs. So it is something that we do to help the person get the best services for their specific needs.
Yes, very true. I think we could all probably say that. And how long is the OMI program? And for the group, oh, sorry, that was the timer, so spare last question. And for the group of panelists, does GDMI training differ by school?
Yeah, great questions. I'll just answer it real quick. I know we're out of time, but
Yes, no,
yeah. The Orientation and Mobility Immersion Program lasts 1 week. It's conducted on a one-on-one basis. It is in operation right now via our 2 campuses. And in normal times, we would work with our 3 partner agencies in California, the San Francisco Lighthouse, the Earl Baum Center in Santa Rosa, and Wayfinder Family Services in LA.
All right. Thank you, Jake.
Sure.
Okay. So now we've got a couple of really, well, there's been tons of great questions. There's been a couple that I've kind of saved to kind of ask to the group here. One of them was in regards to O&M terms. Are there any terms, I guess, that you wouldn't encourage an O&M specialist to use with a guide dog client, or anything that an O&M should think about, I guess, when working with somebody with a guide dog? If anybody wants to take that on.
I would say, as a guide dog handler myself, who has worked with an O&M instructor, I think what's most important is to focus on the O&M fundamentals and the specific lesson, rather than what the dog is doing. That sometimes comes up where there's a lot of questions about, like, well, what, your dog is doing this, your dog is doing that, and that can be helpful feedback. Certainly, obviously, if it's a safety issue, you want to bring it up, or if you have questions, always ask the handler themselves. They'll be able to explain best what's going on. But in terms of a specific lesson, just sharing personal experience, I really recommend just focusing on the various aspects of the lesson, and that will make the process go a lot more smooth.
I think it's important to know also, as a guide dog handler and as someone who works with other handlers and within the industry, is with the cane. I didn't even realize this till I became a handler. With the cane, you are identifying all those obstacles to move around. You are hitting that trash can. You are trailing along a wall. You are knocking that door frame. Where with the guide dog, you're just breezing around them as if they're not even there. And so you really need to be able to orient without getting all of that tactile feedback you get from that cane. And that was a small adjustment for me when I adjusted to using a guide dog. And I was like, what do you mean to tell me I just walked around that giant garbage can that used to be my landmark and now is just not even a thing to worry about anymore? So I think that's something that's important to think about, is even someone who's used a cane since I was a young child, I had to adjust how I learned new routes, because now I patterned differently, because my mobility device was no longer hitting those things, but was taking me around them.
That's great. Somebody else had a really good question earlier on about, so somebody's been working with a guide dog for a long time, and now their guide dog is retiring, and they want to apply for a new guide dog, but their O&M skills have really diminished quite a bit. How do you bring up that topic and or encourage those, like a refresher of O&M skills before applying for a new guide dog?
I think that we talked about a lot of us do home interviews and videos, and I think that from a guide dog school perspective, that comes up during the application process if there's a deficit in orientation and mobility that needs to be bridged before they're ready for a new dog. As guide dog organizations, because we have experience with our graduates, oftentimes if they're coming from our school, we might both recommend they get cane training while they're waiting, but also try to speed the process of getting them a dog so that they can get back to their mobility aid of choice that works well for them. So as long as things are safe and effective with the dog, we can, especially with experienced guide dog users, their cane travel techniques don't necessarily have to be, how's the way to say this, on par with how they were when they first got their first guide dog. So if they become dog reliant, then we will acknowledge that we had a part in that. So it's kind of our responsibility to help them get another dog if they can be safe and effective with the dog.
I like that. And some people really just are better guide dog travelers than they are cane travelers, and that is proved over and over again, I think. Chelsea just gave a thumbs up. Yep. Someone asked earlier on too, for the schools in the colder climates, do you train using the little booties to help the dogs stay warm?
This is Chelsea from the Seeing Eye. Booties are actually beneficial not only for cold climate, but for very hot as well. So if you live in the South, I know earlier she mentioned quite a few folks in the Southwest. So July I actually live in Texas. I work for the Seeing Eye in New Jersey, but I actually live in Texas. And so our pavement in the middle of July is hot. And so booties not only protect dogs' feet from the ice and snow, and actually it's more the salt that you're protecting your dog's paws from, because the salt that they put down to melt ice and snow burns dogs' feet. But the booties will also protect from really hot pavement, which can also burn a dog's foot. So I suspect that all of the guide dog schools on this call train dogs with booties, because you might need them depending on where you live at certain times of the year. So
definitely, that's usually one of my favorite parts of training is when they put those on and then watching the dog try to figure out walking in them. So cute.
It's highly entertaining.
It really is, and such a great point that they are very useful in those warmer, hot environments too. Absolutely.
Yeah, the most
go ahead.
Thing with boots is just to make sure they are really the right fit for the dog, to make it easy on the dog, because as you said, if they're not the right fit, the dog will be like moving like very awkward, stuff like that. So make sure you get the right size for the boots, and the high quality, because you don't want to lose them in the snow or when it's too hot. So
yeah, good point. Thank you. There's a specific question for guiding eyes. Is there a quarantining restriction? And if you do come to New York, if you're only there 2 weeks, can you get an additional home training after that? Oops, I think you're on mute.
There's not a, we do have a kind of a quarantine in that if you're not vaccinated and you come to, what we have people do right now is we're sending a test kit to them. So they'll test before they arrive, and they test the day they arrive. The turnaround time is about between 24 to 36 hours on getting results. So they do have to stay in their room. They can't travel around the dormitory. There is an outside exit, so they can go outside, but we're just asking them to stay in the room until we get the test results back. And then after they test negative, then they can use the parts of the dormitory that are open to everybody. And as far as training afterwards, yes, we're doing a lot more. We call them post-class visits, where once you graduate and go home, you're getting a visit from a regional guided mobility instructor, or if you're local to us, someone from the school will come out and work with you as needed. It's not mandatory, but we kind of use our instructors to identify folks, especially first-time guide dog users, who might benefit from having someone come and help them with their home routes during that first week or two home.
Thank you. This is an interesting question here. Can schools collaborate? For example, if someone needed a poodle, but also needed training with a support cane or a mobility aid, would schools be open to working together to provide that?
Good question. This is David from Leader Dog. I guess I'll jump in. I don't see why not, but it would just depend. It's so specific to that individual circumstance, right? So would we be open to looking at those? Absolutely. But again, how the logistical pieces would come together would be the intricate part of it.
All right.
This is Chelsea with the Seeing Eye. I also think that, you would find, and Guide Dog Foundation, you can correct me, but for the schools that, do train, say, a poodle for somebody with allergies, that school would also be, more than happy to work with you, if there was a secondary disability. I know, we have quite a few graduates who use support canes. We have graduates who are amputees. So if somebody, say, is a left hand or left arm amputee, because the dog is normally trained on the left. But if somebody cannot work a dog on the left, we'll train a dog for somebody on the right. We have a lot of graduates who are diabetic. So dealing with, diabetic neuropathy and, that kind of thing, and balance issues and all that. I think, you would find that, most guide dog schools, Jake said this earlier, guide dog training is very individualized, and, schools are very flexible. While there's certain things that some of us just, haven't taken on the challenge of yet, you could find a school that has. So
Good point.
And we do work with clients who do use support canes, and we do have standard poodles. So while I don't know off the top of my head that we've done that combination, I imagine it's certainly something that we can look into.
A very unique request or specific request. Somebody else asked about what does it take to become a guide dog mobility instructor? Like, what is the training like for that?
So for the Seeing Eye, all that we require is a college degree of some sort, so a bachelor's degree in something. It doesn't have to be in the blindness field or in a animal field. It can be in anything. It just we like that you have the college degree. And then beyond that, our apprenticeship program is 3 years. So you would apply to be an apprentice instructor, and then would be an apprentice instructor for 3 years. And it's sort of an on-job training type thing. And it's also a paid position. So, and then after that, you would progress through sort of the different levels of instructor that we have. So
Is anybody differing from that? I think everybody's
coming from Fidelco. We are only almost on guide dog school in this panel. We are part of the International Guide Dog Federation, and there is a standard for education and to for your GDMI. So we all of us follow the standards. It's just like the preference between schools, whether you required like a degree or college or no college, or like some kind of like working with dogs before, or being on the animal field, or graduated from like animal behavior programs. But we are all under the umbrella of the International Guide Dog Federation, and there's standards that we are all has to follow.
Yeah, good point. And somebody was asking, is it hard on the dogs to run marathons? Is that damaging at all to their paws?
So we don't have many graduates who do much more than a 5 or 10K with their dogs for runs. We did have our CEO, Thomas Panic, did run a half marathon, but we used multiple dogs for it. He's a guide dog user, and in that case, and whenever a graduate is wanting to participate in a running race, depending upon how crowded it is, well, usually one of the things we talk to them about is whether or not they should consider using dog booties during the race. So that can help with their, paw issues. But no, the dogs that are selected for the Running Guides program love to run. Like they totally enjoy it. They like get the challenge of weaving and getting in front of people. So we initially didn't do races and didn't recommend them, but once we started exploring the possibility, we found that it's actually quite easy. The dogs tend to just, anyone who's ever run a race, everybody kind of clumps together in a pace group. So you tend to the dog just tends to follow someone in front of them that's going about the same pace. And so they tend to, we have not experienced any foot injuries.
Well, that's good. All right. Somebody, great question here, was saying, with all of kind of the other fake service dogs and animals that are out there, is there a one-stop shop type of certification that a blind person must and or should keep with them anytime they're out? So basically, if they were challenged by somebody, how to handle that?
This is Jake.
No.
Yeah, no.
We wish.
Yeah.
This is Jake. I would just add to that. Yeah, no is a great answer. But certainly just being able to reference the definition of a service animal in the Americans with Disabilities Act. Many schools provide documentation in the form of ID cards and wallet-sized resources and things like that. And while there's nothing official, there's no central government entity, there's no Department of Licensing for guide dogs, so to speak. Those sort of things can be helpful in mitigating any sort of conflict or concern that a member of the public might have about your dog being in that space.
And I will add, actually, by law under the ADA, a business is not allowed to ask for identification. They are allowed to ask two questions. One is the dog a service dog? And what task is the dog trained to do? And a person needs to be able to answer those questions. So, if example, were to be asked what my dog, is my dog a service dog? Yes. What task is she trained to do? She's a guide dog and she helps me navigate my environment visually. So, so that is, currently what ADA says, and fair housing and air carrier access. Fair housing governs obviously housing, and air carrier governs airplanes, and those two laws are a bit different. So
yeah, definitely a topic in the field, that's for sure right
yes.
now.
No kidding.
So we have reached our time, 4:30. So thank you everyone for joining, all panel members. This has been great and very informative. There's been plenty of compliments and thanks in the comments section. So I am going to post one more time everybody's contact information and all of that, so everybody has access to it. Please always know that you can reach out to any of us, as we're happy to help with any of your guide dog questions. And I think that is it, unless there's anything else from APH that they want to close us out with.
Yes, we want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone for all these awesome questions. I learned a lot.